everyone. We're going to get started. My name is Amy Welch, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. Hi, guys. I am really excited you are here tonight. I want to just give a brief kind of overview of what the meeting's going to be. We just tonight in this meeting, we want to build the belief in the products and in the business side. So you are going to hear some testimonies from real people and how Plexus products have been changing their lives and also the business. But really quickly, I want to read just our disclaimer. The opportunity of a lifetime is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. Plexus Worldwide wants you to know that the results you are about to hear may vary from person to person, and we do not claim to cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent any disease. A couple of housekeeping tips tonight on the call. I have everybody muted. And we're just going to keep this to a quick 45-minute opportunity meeting with product information and testimonies. So tonight we're not going to do live questions. You can save all of your questions and ask the person that invited you, and I know they would be happy to answer them for you. I want to start just quickly by giving my story because I was one of the biggest skeptics on the planet when it came to Plexus. For those of you who don't know what Plexus is, we are a health and wellness company based out of Arizona. We are a debt-free company, and we're focused on healing from the inside out. Our products focus on three main issues: inflammation, balancing blood sugars and cholesterols, and balancing gut health. So when I first heard of Plexus, I rolled my eyes. I didn't want anything to do with it. I wouldn't even let my friend Sarah at the time, who her and I didn't even really know her, I wouldn't even let her explain it because I thought it was just another scam, some other weight loss pill, and I didn't want anything to do with it. But then I started, something in the back of my mind told me that maybe I should hear what she has to say. And so I agreed to have a call, and she mentioned two health issues that kind of piqued my interest. She mentioned hypothyroidism and gout. And at the time, I was hypothyroid and my husband was struggling with gout. So I tried the products, and I was still so skeptic that when I tried the products, I didn't tell anybody. But within a week, I felt so much better and didn't need naps or caffeine. I wasn't tired. We were off medications, that I couldn't wait to share it with everybody. And so I'm going to talk a little bit later just about my own personal journey. But, you know, Plexus Worldwide, I'm convinced now the reason I joined this company are for a couple of reasons. One, I know people need our products. Our products are amazing, but people need them. I see people that I love and care for every day talk about and post on Facebook that they're tired, they're exhausted, they have health issues that nowadays in our country are just becoming an epidemic with obesity and diabetes and autoimmune disease. I even saw a thing the other day that PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, it is now increasing in the U.S. It's insulin resistant, so along with diabetes, just because of our food supply and the way people are eating, that's also on the rise. So there are just so many health issues. And, you know, the reason I started sharing Plexus is because I felt selfish if I didn't. I know our products work and so many people need them. So tonight you're going to hear testimonies from some real people. And the first one we're going to start with is Heather. Heather, are you there? Oh, Heather?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my Plexus testimony starts when I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I started getting really bad headaches, and I continued to have headaches for years and years and years. I remember my parents taking me to the doctors, and I would have CAT scans and allergy testing done, and nothing ever came back. And fast forward a few years, and I started having stomach issues as well. Are you there?
Yes, you're there.
Okay. I started having stomach issues, and I really didn't voice my issues with my parents. I just kind of thought it was normal. And I, let's see, by the time I was 20, I had gone about 6 or 7 years without a menstrual cycle, and I thought that was totally normal, judging by the fact that my doctors told me it was normal and just get used to it, and it was going to be that way for a while. Sorry, I'm struggling with an infant here.
Oh, sorry. Bless her. Bless his heart.
I'm sorry, you guys.
It happens.
We're having a growth spurt right now, so he's a little frustrated right now. So I went to a doctor when I was 20 because I had gone so long with menstrual issues, and the doctor told me, sorry guys, doctor told me basically that I had, oh buddy, I know, why now, why now, why now, okay. Doctor told me when I was 20 that basically I had gone through menopause early, and that there was nothing I could do about it, and that I would never have babies. Clearly that's not the case now. And I just took that as, you know, as the truth, and that it would never happen. And a few years after that, I was hospitalized. I had a really severe flu, what I thought was the flu, for about 2 weeks. I am so sorry.
Okay, do you need to step away for a second?
He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Give me just 1 second, you guys. I am so sorry.
You're okay.
He's not liking having a blanket over his head, that's for sure. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. So, oh, good grief.
You're okay.
So, I was hospitalized with severe stomach pains and bathroom issues, if you will. And the doctors did several tests. They did CAT scans, and turns out I have Crohn's disease. And they came back after my testing and said, well, this is just not.
That's okay. Tell you what, why don't you just take a few minutes and see if you can get.
Guys, I am.
You're okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the triplex. So why don't you just take a minute, and he's okay.
Okay, he's okay. He's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Okay, so clearly the infertility was wrong on my diagnosis of that. But the doctor came back after my testing and told me I had Crohn's disease, and said on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst case scenario, I was a 9. And he said if it was any worse, that they were going to end up removing parts of my bowels. And that was very scary. It was the scariest week of my life, spending it in the hospital, thinking I was in so much pain I wanted to die. And they sent me home with a huge list of steroids and prebiotics and probiotics, and said, you know, you just need to be on these medications for the rest of your life. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. And I somewhat managed it with diet, and I kind of knew what I could eat and what I couldn't eat and what would cause a flare-up, and I wasn't living, I was just kind of getting by. And I was still in pain all the time, unbearable stomach pain and issues. And several years later, I got married, and we wanted to have babies, and I was remembering that doctor telling me when I was 20 years old that I would never have babies, and that I had already gone through menopause. So I went for a second opinion, and turns out I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, and also known as PCOS. And this is something that it gives you a wide range of symptoms, from belly fat to dark hair to facial hair, inability to have a cycle. And I was having all of the symptoms, never knowing one had anything to do with another. And so the doctor basically said, you need to control your insulin and try to have a cycle, and that's the only way you're going to have a baby. Mm-hmm. So they put me on diabetic medication for something that was not diabetes. And the only way I was able to conceive my first 2 children was with this blood sugar medication. And thank God I now have 4 babies, because I learned to control my own blood sugar. But several years later, in strolls plexus, and I was still dealing with the Crohn's and still dealing with the PCOS and losing my hair and exhausted. And I was just at my wit's end because here I was with in the dishwasher. Sorry, guys. I had tried everything. I had tried diets. I had tried different programs. I had tried steroids and medications and all kinds of things, and nothing ever worked. I was never able to lose weight. And having siblings that are tall and thin, and you're the only one that's not tall and thin, it's kind of discouraging. So my cousin, Rebecca, started posting about Plexus back in March, and I just kind of watched and waited, and I kind of stalked her. I was watching her every single day, and I think I kind of annoyed her because for the last several months I was asking questions daily. What do I need to do, and what about this, and what about that? And finally one day I said, I'm just going to jump in and try it. I was not the kind of mom I wanted to be. All I ever wanted in my life was kids, and I was here dealing with 4 children, and I didn't even have the energy to play with them. I was grouchy all the time from not getting any sleep. I was addicted, and I mean addicted, to Dr. Pepper and any type of caffeine I could get my hands on just to make it through the day. My hair was falling out. Again, couldn't lose weight. I was having vertigo. I was having nervous issues with my limbs going numb. And I even had an MRI because the doctor thought I had MS. It was just all these weird issues and weird symptoms. And finally in August, I decided to go in full force and become an ambassador because I wanted the discount, and my husband, by no means could we afford to start a business or get involved in another set of products or anything. And he said, I give you a month and we'll see how it works and see if you can at least get a couple customers to, pay for your products and whatnot. So I started the end of August, and I felt a difference immediately in my energy, in my mood. I wasn't the grouchy mama. Even my daughter tells me, Mama, I love your pink drink because it makes you silly with us. And she's only 4 and she knows that. And within that first month, I was able to feel like a human again, which is really weird to say. And I actually started when I was 7 months pregnant. And a lot of people said, oh my gosh, you're doing a diet regimen when you're pregnant. And I said, no, it's not about dieting, and it's not about weight loss. Weight loss just comes. It's an added benefit, and it's just a bonus. And if you need to lose weight, your body will lose weight. And my body doesn't need to lose weight. And I actually tested positive or high for blood sugar when I was pregnant with Avery. And I was borderline preeclamptic as well. And I started the products and had my next checkup 4 weeks later. My blood sugar levels were down. My blood pressure was down, and I was gaining weight. And the doctor was surprised. He said, I can't believe you've gained weight on this product that's supposed to help you lose weight. And I said, well, it's supposed to help you do whatever your body needs it to do. And my body needed to get healthy, and it did. So my 6-week-old here, it was the heaviest baby I've had out of 4. And he still is packing on the pounds, and I thank God for Plexus because he's been able to thrive unbelievably with breastfeeding, and he's just a little miracle baby because this is one of 2 that were conceived without having to take blood sugar medication. So here I am, 3 months in. My Crohn's is in remission. My PCOS symptoms are totally in control. I stopped losing my hair, and I've actually been losing weight since I had the baby. So yeah, it's been an unbelievable blessing, health-wise, financially-wise, and just all around. Our whole family is happier.
Well, that is awesome, Heather. Thank you so much. And I think so many people can relate to you. I know when I had first heard about Plexus, I too was the mom of just 1 child. I can't even imagine 4. I had 1 baby, and I was exhausted. I was working full time. I had an hour commute each way, and my husband and I would come home from work, and we felt like, we would have to, we felt like we were just going through the motions during the week. We'd come home, drink coffee or tea to be able to stay awake to play with our daughter. A lot of the time she would be playing on the floor by herself, and we'd be on the couch because we were exhausted. We did that Monday through Friday, and then because we were so tired during the week, our weekends were spent like doing stuff, that we were supposed to get done during the week, like chores and grocery shop and laundry, and we just were tired of the cycle. And so like you, when I started the Triplex combo, I noticed it immediately, the difference in my energy level, my motivation, just being happier. And I had no idea how all of that was tied to blood sugar and gut health. So I just want to go over the Triplex combo really quickly. When you hear people mention the Triplex, it includes Plexus Slim. This is the pink drink that you see everybody rave about. It also includes BioCleanse and then ProBio 5. This is what we call the Triplex. Now, Plexus Slim was developed for diabetics. It helps to maintain healthy blood sugars, healthy blood pressure, healthy cholesterol, and lipid levels. It comes in little individual packets just like this. You take one of these a day, you mix it in water. That's it. It's not a diet drink. It's not an energy drink. It is, I call it a wellness drink. Like Heather said, if people do have weight to lose once they get healthy, then they'll lose weight. If people don't have weight to lose once they get healthy, then they won't lose weight. The main ingredient in this is chromium. It also contains alpha lipoic acid, which is very, very important in a lot of these issues you hear us talk about tonight. So that is Plexus Slim. The ProBio 5 is, one of the most powerful probiotics out there, and you can't go anywhere nowadays and not see something about a probiotic. Everybody, I don't care if you think you're the healthiest person on the planet, you work out, you eat clean, people, our bodies nowadays were just not made for modern life. Everybody needs to be on a probiotic because of the overuse of antibiotics, chemicals in our food, sugars we eat, pollution. The gut bacteria in our gut is out of balance, the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. So everybody needs a probiotic. What makes ours so great is that not only does it have the most important 5 strains of probiotic bacteria that's good for your immune system and just gut health overall, it has key digestive enzymes, which are really, really important, but it also has an antifungal. So it's actually going to kill off that bad bacteria while it's increasing the good. I've had people who have been on probiotics for years and years and not want to switch. Once they switch to this one, they actually can feel the difference on the ProBio 5. The next one in the Triplex is BioCleanse. And so also, because of modern life, like I talked about, our bodies are just burdened with waste. We have slow metabolism. So BioCleanse is really important for a couple of reasons. One, it cleanses the gastrointestinal tract and your arteries. And now I don't want people to freak out by the name cleanse. A lot of people think cleanse means it's like your typical diet cleanse where you're going to be in the bathroom all the time. That's not it at all. BioCleanse oxygenates the entire body at the cellular level. It supports collagen production, and it helps energize your body. This is a powerful combo. You don't have to take them together, but it's a very, very powerful combo. This also, BioCleanse is a great source of magnesium and vitamin C with bioflavonoids. So that is probably one of our most popular combinations. And I know for myself, this was the one that helped me with so many issues. So next, let's hear another health testimony. Let's hear from Melissa. I'm gonna unmute you, Melissa. There you go.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Melissa Bonesteel and I am a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. And I would like to share my health story, and I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible because I have a lot of good stuff that's happened to me, thankfully. Around, let's see, about 5.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease right after the birth of my second child. And for those that are not sure what that is, it basically means that I could not tolerate any amount of gluten. And I mean, I took it very, very seriously. I cut out all gluten, cross-contamination, any concern there, because I would get very, very sick if I had any amount. Because it took me a while to find out what was going on with me. Right after you have a baby, your body is screwed up anyways, and you just kind of don't feel great. So it took me about 9 months to get diagnosed. And mostly that's because I just chalked it up to, just not feeling well because my body was turned inside out through a pregnancy. because I did not diagnose it quickly enough, I was eating gluten, and my gut, I mean, if you knew my childhood medical history, you would understand why I have gut issues to begin with. But I also then developed asthma as long as I've lived in Houston for about 12 years, I was on seasonal allergy medication, but I really chalked that up to living in Houston. I was very, very tired, which I chalked up to waking up at 4:30 for a very long commute. And I remember shortly before starting Plexus thinking, I don't know if I can be this tired for the rest of my life. I never was a napper or anything like that, but I also had no time for that because I was gone 12 hours a day, or I guess I still am. I had severe dry eyes to the point that I have plugs that were put in my tear ducts so that my tears could not drain out because I didn't produce enough. I had to sleep in goggles, which is awesome. And I had to use prescription eye drops that the cheapest or the least expensive they ever were was recently. They're $121 a month. My vision was so poor that in my early 20s I was put in bifocals, and they told me that they thought I had a brain tumor because it's not normal to need bifocals at such a young age. So they checked me for a brain tumor. Thankfully that was not the case. And my digestion it wasn't good. I had acid reflux, any type of spicy food upset my stomach for a day at least. And, I worked out 6 to 7 days a week, and I did anything from kickboxing, running 5 miles, sometimes more than that, spin class, boot camp, yoga, Pilates, you name it, I did it. And I ate a very clean diet. I also had a gluten intolerance, so therefore I couldn't eat a lot of bad stuff. It was ruled out for me. And I still could not, I was not overweight, but there was some weight that I was wanting to lose, and I could not lose it. It was driving me insane. And so when I started Plexus, I started it to lose, about 10 to 15 pounds. And what I didn't realize I was going to get from it was I did lose the weight. I've lost 14 pounds. And that did not come right off for me at all. That took me a long time. It took me several months, probably 5 months actually, to start really losing any weight or inches. And I really, because my gut was in such bad shape, after doing a lot of research and realizing that things were improving for me, I realized, oh, this is why. Once again, my medical history was just horrible, early on in life. And so once I started on Triplex, but once I added the X Factor, I really started to notice a big difference for me. The ProBio 5 obviously was huge, but the healing involved in the X Factor was really what my body, I feel like, needed. So shortly after getting on Plexus, I was able to eliminate my daily Nexium for my acid reflux. I have not used my inhaler in a year. Although I will say I did not use it daily by any means, but I definitely needed it in the winter months or when I did too much of a hardcore workout. I haven't needed it at all. My allergy meds I have not been on in a year, which I took mostly daily unless I forgot, and then I realized it very quickly because I needed them. That $121 eye drop, I have eliminated it. I have not used that. I think it's been about 4 months now. I'm off my, I now sleep. Just the sleep is fantastic. And therefore, I'm not tired every day. I drive into work now. I still don't get excited about driving an hour to work, but I feel good when I wake up in the morning. I feel rested, which is amazing. I didn't even think I had sleep problems to begin with. I don't wear my goggles. I haven't worn them since last January. I got rid of those. My vision, I went to the eye doctor, gosh, I'm sorry, it's probably been 5-6 months because I was getting headaches at work again. So I thought, great, now my vision's getting worse again. They actually took my reading prescription from a positive 2.75, which I had to wear glasses over my contacts just so I could read. And they took that down from a positive 2.75 to a positive 1.5. So my vision has drastically improved. which never in a million years would I have expected to gain from this. And then also, lastly, I've recently tested small amounts of gluten because I've seen some success stories with other people with plexus and celiac. So I started with very small things, but I have not been sick on any of them. And I've also tested some cross-contamination. I put myself in a situation on purpose to see if I would get sick, and I have not any of those times. So it's probably been about 5 or 6 different things that I've tried at this point and haven't been sick once. So that's my piece, but my favorite part about my story with plexus is what's happened with my daughter. My daughter, Kate, is 9 years old, and she's had some pretty hard times with anxiety. And last year around March, we came back from a trip, and she just couldn't cope. I mean, every single time she had to be away from me, she was crying, and she was in school, so she was away from me 5 days a week. She was starting to fake illnesses so that she didn't have to go to school. Her grades were slipping, and she didn't tell us. She was hiding her grades from us. We found out when we got her progress report, and she's always been a really good student, so that was very surprising to us, and really, I guess, just upsetting that she was hiding it from me and she was lying to us. And then Kate and I would go for a walk on Monday nights because my husband and my younger daughter had soccer practice. And we went for a walk that Monday night, and I was talking to her about a birthday party. And so I knew things were hard. And honestly, I was at the stage of more frustration because I didn't know how to fix it. And I didn't know if it was an overreaction. I didn't know what was going on with her. I just knew that every time I tried to leave her, she was crying, and it's very stressful. It's very hard on the entire family. And we went for that walk that night, and we were talking about a birthday party. I came up with the idea of maybe taking some friends to a movie because she's a little older. I thought that would be kind of a big girl birthday party. And I knew the new movie Inside Out was going to be released the day before her birthday. So I asked her if she wanted to consider that. So I pulled up the movie trailer for it. And for those that haven't seen it, it's a movie about feelings. And she said that we finished the trailer, and she looks at me and says, "Scared and sad." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Those are the words that I feel. Those are the feelings that I feel every day." And when you have a child, the very last thing you ever want to hear your child say is they feel scared and sad every single day. So I called our pediatrician, got the ingredients approved for ProBio 5 and Slim, and started her on that. And it took about 5 weeks for us to really notice a difference, but I will tell you, we have a completely different child. She's excelling in school this year. Her progress, her parent-teacher conference, the teacher, I actually cried in the conference because the teacher said that she raises her hands, she volunteers information, she's a leader in the classroom. They put her at the table when other kids are struggling because she wants to help them. Last year, she was just trying to blend and survive. Like, there's no way she would have been viewed as a leader in the classroom. We received her first 9-week report card, and her grades were great. She's happy. She can separate from us. She doesn't cry when we're gone now, and we are so incredibly thankful.
That is just amazing, Melissa. That was getting me choked up there. I would know you're going to give us all that testimony.
Yeah, I'm sorry it was a little long.
No, that's fantastic. I know plenty of people on the call can relate to that as well. I know my daughter, she's only 2, but her pediatrician definitely approved the ProBio 5 as well, and then also our children's X Factor vitamin. So while I said most people on Plexus, I'd say most people are on the triplex, and we talk about getting healthy, balancing blood sugars. We do have some all-natural weight loss enhancement products that I wanted to talk about very quickly. We have Accelerator and Boost. These are both your weight loss enhancers. You cannot take these at the same time. Accelerator was developed, actually, it's called Accelerator Plus. It was developed to accelerate the weight loss benefits of Plexus Slim. So you have to take these two together. It does contain a natural stimulant, so anyone sensitive to caffeine or stimulants needs to be careful, as well as anybody with any heart issues. But the cool thing about Accelerator Plus that so many people love, it actually, besides all of the vitamins and minerals that it contains, it also contains a natural mood enhancer in the form of 5-HTP. So tons of people love Accelerator for that mood boost. Boost is actually a thermogenic. It also contains a natural stimulant, so anybody sensitive to those or with heart issues also cannot take Boost. But this is a thermogenic, and then it's going to heat your body up, raise that body temperature, and get that metabolism going. A lot of people love Boost as their pre-workout supplement. So a lot of people who are active, they love Boost. The other one that I love that I started on back in May is called Block. Block is actually a standalone product. And the way Block works is it actually blocks up to 48% of the carbs and sugars you take in from absorbing. So that's actually, it's great for diabetics or anyone who has borderline sugars. It's going to help them maintain those healthy sugar levels. And it just contributes to an enhanced state of overall wellness. This is actually, you take it as needed before you eat a carb-heavy meal, but I'll actually tell you in the past couple of months, because our two main ingredients are white kidney bean extract in this and an NC brown seaweed blend, I have heard from so many people whose doctors or their holistic health coaches have actually told them to take 1 block a day, regardless of if they're eating carbs, because the brown seaweed blend is such a powerful component and such a great ingredient. It actually it protects against digestive enzymes, and it also helps with those blood glucose levels. So that's one of my favorite products, and it's just in time for the holidays. One thing it does, it helps you not to feel bloated. The first time I took it was over Memorial Day because I knew we were going to cook out. I was going to have some, hamburgers and some beer, and I didn't get that bloated feeling after I took my block. So the next person, though, that you're going to hear about is Ashley. We're going to hear her testimony. Ashley, let me unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. Are you ready? Ashley? Uh-oh. There she is.
All right. Hey, guys. My name is Ashley Marcel. I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. My journey started back in March of 2014. I guess with Plexus, my health issues started probably 5 or 6, maybe even 7 years ago. I had my gallbladder taken out, and after that point in time, it seemed like I just started having stomach issues after stomach issues. And I had heard about a yeast overgrowth that can happen in your gut, and how this can kind of affect a lot of different things in your body, and how you how it processes in your body can affect different things in yourself. And I didn't know how to control it. There was a crazy diet that I tried, and I could not, I couldn't keep it up. So I just dealt with my symptoms. And my symptoms were intense, crazy stomach pains. We're talking knife in the gut, multiple times a day, multiple times a week, bloating like you wouldn't believe. I would walk around looking 6 months pregnant sometimes. And it was embarrassing to not be pregnant and have people ask you, oh, when are you due? I think a lot of women understand how embarrassing that can be. So between that and just the pain that I was in all the time, it was just really hard to, control. It just seemed like there's nothing I could do. It didn't matter what I ate or anything. I went to the doctor finally, and they diagnosed me with IBS. And they told me, go ahead and take a probiotic, and we'll see what happens. I didn't know what a probiotic was, honestly. So I went to the grocery store, bought one that I saw on the shelf, took it for about a couple weeks, and I found out I was pregnant with my first child. And not really knowing what a probiotic was, I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't take this. I'm pregnant. So I stopped taking it. And actually, my symptoms went away during pregnancy, so that was pretty great. And I had my son, and the symptoms didn't come back for about a year. And they started coming back, and they started getting worse and worse. And before I knew it, I was right back where I was before. I tried to deal with the symptoms again as best I could, but I finally broke down again, went back to the doctor, talked to the doctor again. They said, okay, start with a probiotic. and we'll see what happens after a month. Started on the probiotic again, didn't see too many things changing. I ended up getting pregnant again with my second child, and the symptoms went away again. So I thought, okay, well, I have like another year after I have her before I have to deal with these symptoms again if this follows the same way with my son. But that was not the case. After I had my daughter, the symptoms came back right away. So I found myself up early one morning at about 4 o'clock in the morning dealing with these stomach pains. I couldn't sleep. I was just in a lot of pain. And so I was perusing Facebook, and I saw a post that a friend of mine had made about Probio 5 and how it can help really get your gut back in check. It can help with yeast overgrowth, and it has, antifungals. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I've tried other probiotics before. They never really helped. But this Plexus one came with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which I thought was pretty cool. So I went ahead and gave it a try. And within 1 month, I noticed a lot of changes. My stomach issues were still there, but they were getting a little bit better. But one of the things that I didn't expect was my sugar cravings to go away. I was a huge sugar person. I could not say no to sweets. If there was a cupcake around, I was going to eat it. I could eat 3 cupcakes in one sitting, and that was normal. So I noticed after a month taking this probiotic, not only was I not craving sweets, but I could walk by sweets and have no desire to even try a bite or anything. And that was kind of blew my mind because that's never been me. I've always been very addicted to sugar. Excuse me. And another thing that I noticed was I was starting to have a little bit more energy. I wasn't quite a slave to coffee like I was before, and I was sleeping a little bit better. I always was able to go to sleep fine, but staying asleep was the issue. If I woke up and if I allowed myself to have one thought, it was all downhill from there. I'd be up for hours just thinking random things that really didn't even matter, but in the middle of the night, they seemed like big issues. So I noticed with the probiotic that it was helping me sleep better as well. So after that month, I decided, you know what, if this probiotic is this good, surely the rest of the products have to be this good too. So I went ahead and jumped in, signed up to become an ambassador, thought, I'm just going to sign up and get the wholesale pricing. I never envisioned myself actually selling the products, but it turns out you can't help but share these with your friends once they start changing your lives the way I know that they've changed a lot of people's lives. So when I signed up, I went ahead and started taking Slim and Accelerator, lost, about 10 pounds over a few months. I thought that was pretty great. I had some lingering baby weight left over for my second child. So that was exciting. And the energy that I was getting was absolutely amazing. I've always been, 3 cups of coffee in the morning, a couple of diet sodas in the afternoon to stave off that afternoon crash. That was my life. And now I had my Slim in the morning, and that was it. I wasn't having that afternoon crash. I still drink coffee because I love the taste. But I have 1 cup in the morning, and if I, really am craving the taste of it, I'll have another decaf cup. I don't need the caffeine anymore, which has been a really great change, a real positive change in my life. So the energy that I've been feeling has just made me a more present person, or more present parent, I'm sorry. I get home from my 9-to-5 job, and I used to just come home and sit down on the couch, try and entertain my child from there. But now I'm actually, on the floor playing with them, or running around dancing and outside playing soccer and, whatever it is that they want to do. I have the energy to do it. And that's been a really, really huge blessing for me. So after that, a few months adding in the Slim and Accelerator, I went ahead and added in the Bio Cleanse. I thought, let's see what I can do to really get my gut health in check. By now I had been an ambassador for a few months, so I started, really knew more about gut health and things that were going on inside my body. So I added in the Bio Cleanse, and it was probably within a month or 2, I really started noticing a huge change with my IBS symptoms. My bloating had gone away. I had lost weight, but it really didn't show as much that I had lost weight because I was still bloated all the time. My clothes still weren't fitting the way that they, should be fitting and like that. So once the bloat started going away, I started having a lot more self-confidence. I didn't feel like I had to hide under baggy clothing anymore, and I didn't have to hide under baggy clothing because of the pain. When you're bloated all the time and your stomach hurts all the time, you have to wear loose, baggy clothes or you're going to be in pain all day. So I didn't have to, wear those kinds of clothes anymore. And it was just really amazing being able to go at first a few days without any stomach pains and then a few weeks without any stomach pains. And I mean, these stomach pains would lay me out. And when you work a 9-to-5 job, you have to, maintain a certain level of professionalism. You can't just be laying down on the floor in your office. So to just start going longer and longer without experiencing these intense pains and not having this bloating that was just crazy, it's been so amazing. Getting control of my IBS was probably the last thing that I thought would happen with Plexus. Once the sugar cravings started going away, once I started having more energy, once I started losing weight, I thought, okay, this is great. If this is all that I get out of these products, then I'm happy. But then it seems like the longer I take the products, the more things start to change. And, getting rid of the IBS symptoms has been a real life changer for me.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing. So, I think a lot of people who have been on Plexus feel the same. I know I do. I may have started for one reason, but then so many good things just keep happening and happening that, even if it just been one, that would have been worth it. To me, the energy to be present with my family was worth it to me. But getting kind of relief from my hypothyroidism and, losing weight and all of these things, better sleep, they just keep adding up. And I know a lot of people are like that. So really quickly, I just want to go over a couple of our last products. A lot of people out there, most people, even though the health testimonies on Plexus are amazing, most people want it for weight loss. I've gone down 3 pant sizes myself and 14 inches. However, I haven't taken any of the weight loss enhancers. I've been on the Triplex, and then X Factor for me was the one that really kicked it up a notch. And a lot of people are like, how in the heck does a multivitamin help you lose weight? I've been on a multivitamin. I've taken them for years. Well, ours is different. Ours contains aloe, and aloe does 2 really cool things. It helps your body absorb the nutrients you take in from the food you eat up to 300 times better. But it acts as a super highway, and it gets those nutrients to where your body's deficient in them. And so for a lot of people, there are a lot of health issues out there that cause you to not absorb vitamins as you should. I was hypothyroid, many autoimmune disorders. Your body does not take in and absorb the nutrients it needs. I don't care how clean you eat. I was eating clean. I was doing rounds of paleo and Whole30. So no matter how healthy you eat, your body just cannot absorb those nutrients. So your body goes into starvation mode. When it's in starvation mode, because it's not getting those nutrients, it holds onto the fat. That's why people with thyroid issues have a really hard time losing weight. Same with a lot of other autoimmune disease. So once I started the X Factor, though, my body finally started absorbing the nutrients, and then I started shedding the weight. We also have Mega X, which is the only plant-based complete source of omegas on the market. So this is really great for vegetarians. They can finally take an omega that's not fish oil, no fish burps, no fishy aftertaste, and it doesn't stink. And it's the complete source. It's sourced from the ahi flower. We also have Plexus Ease, which is our pain relief line, and then Plexus Nerve, which is our nerve line. And these are fantastic. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So if you have questions about those, definitely ask the person that invited you. I have friends who were taking up to 12 Advil and other over-the-counter pain medications a day for back pain. My husband was one of them, and once they started on the Plexus products that are all natural, they were able to back off of those completely. But, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the company to close this meeting out. I had no intentions of working this business. I only joined to be an ambassador for the discount. I love a good deal. That's the only reason I joined, because it is actually the cheapest way to buy, and you don't have to sell a thing. But once I got a taste of the freedom I could have on working this Plexus business and our paychecks, and I saw the paychecks of other people, and more importantly for me, though, I saw how I could help people who really needed it. Then I committed to this business. That was just 8 months ago. So in 8 months, I have been able to replace my salary that took me 15 years in higher education to make. My last Plexus paycheck would have paid for our mortgage 4 times over. I also just got a free Lexus from Plexus with my current rank. So coming from somebody who not only rolled her eyes at the products, but wanted nothing to do with network marketing, I really thought it was a scam, or I thought you had to be a salesman. And to make any money, you either had to sell a ton of products or you had to be with the company a very long time, and only people at the very top made the money. Well, Plexus is different. When Plexus chose network marketing, they set out to be different, and they are. We get paid 11 different ways as a Plexus ambassador. Commission is just one of them. And the coolest thing about Plexus is that it only costs you guys $34.95 to start your business. That's it. You actually, unlike other companies, you actually don't even have to purchase the products at first. There's no big, huge kit that they make you buy. You only have to pay $34.95 to start your business. Now, of course, being a product of the product, we want people on the products, you want to feel good, but I have had people who really desperately wanted on them and they couldn't afford them, but they could afford that $34.95 and they were able to start their business. I've actually had people get their first promotion before they've ever tried the products themselves, just because they believed in them so much. So I'm sure you guys out there, you still have questions. So I want you to get with the person that invited you so we can get you signed up and get you started with Plexus quickly. The holidays are coming. You do not want to wait until January to make a New Year's resolution or to go back to the gym or start a new diet. I did that for a decade. It's exhausting. So, let's get you signed up quickly so you don't even have to worry about that. You can enjoy the holidays and not be stressing over how you feel or what you're eating. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to thank Heather, Melissa, and Ashley for sharing their testimonies. So go Plexus, and good night, everybody.